Welcome to CEC Gurukul lectures. In the series of financial accounting, we are continuing with the topic final accounts of non-corporate entities. In our previous lecture, we already talked about the manufacturing account and trading account. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about the next item of the income statement, that is profit and loss account. And in today's lecture, we are going to cover about the features of profit and loss account, what is the purpose of preparing profit and loss account, what are the items which are shown on the debit side and credit side of the profit and loss account, what are the closing entries of this profit and loss account, and what is the difference between trading account, which we discussed in our previous lecture, and profit and loss account. In my previous lecture, I already talked about the accounting process, wherein I talked about this accounting process that begins with the journalizing, that is recording of a transaction in the journal, then posting that journal entry in the ledger, and then balancing of accounts, and then finally the preparation of trial balance. After the preparation of trial balance, the final step in the accounting process is final accounts, and this consists two statements. One is income statement and one is position statement. This income statement includes two accounts, that is trading account and profit and loss account. And we already talked about this trading account in our previous lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about the profit and loss account. So a businessman may have other sources of income. In order to ascertain the true profit or loss which the business has made during a particular period, it is necessary that all expenses and incomes should be considered. Profit and loss account consider all such expenses and incomes and gives the net profit made or net loss suffered by a business during a particular period. What are the features of profit and loss account? This profit and loss account is one of the financial statements. So financial statements includes two things. One is income statement and one is position statement, wherein income statement includes trading account and profit and loss account. So this profit and loss account is one of the financial statements. What does it depict? Profit and loss account depicts the financial performance of an enterprise during an accounting period. If you want to know about the performance of a business, then it is necessary to prepare the profit and loss account. All the indirect revenue expenses and losses are shown on the debit side of profit and loss account, and all indirect revenue incomes are shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. All the items of revenue concerning current year, whether received in cash or not, and all items of expenses, whether paid in cash or not, are considered in this account. But no item relating to the past or next year is included in it. That means all the items which are related to the current year, whether paid or not, whether received or not, the items which are related within current year only will be shown in the profit and loss account, irrespective of the fact whether these expenses are paid in cash or not, or whether the incomes are received or not. So the items which are pertaining with the current year will be shown in the profit and loss account. The items which are related with the next year or which are related with the previous year will not be shown in the profit and loss account. What is the purpose of preparing this profit and loss account? In the previous lecture, I talked about the trading account, which is another part of the income statement, and wherein we calculated this gross profit and gross loss. So the purpose of preparing profit and loss account is to calculate the net profit and net loss, which is calculated by preparing the profit and loss account. And this profit and loss account it includes all type of indirect expenses and indirect incomes. In trading account, this trading account includes only direct expenses and direct incomes, wherein profit and loss account includes all indirect expenses and indirect incomes. So by preparing profit and loss account, we can calculate the net profit or net loss which is earned by the enterprise. If the total of the credit side is more than the total of debit side, the difference is known as net profit. The total of revenue, if your income exceed the expenses, then the difference is known as the net profit. And if it is a reverse case, that expenses exceed revenue, then there will be net loss. Either of these two will be calculated, will be there, either net profit or net loss. And this net profit or net loss will be transferred to the capital account, where net profit means the excess of all revenues, whether operating or non-operating, over expenses and losses, whether operating or non-operating. This operating profit means the excess of operating revenue over operating expenses and losses. It arises as a result of carrying out operating activities. What are operating activities? Operating activities are the principal revenue producing activities of the enterprise other than this investing and financial activities. These are the main principal revenue producing activities out of which the firm earns the revenue. The examples of operating activities are, if say there is a sale and purchase of land and building by property dealers, are operating activities. If they are granting loans to the third party by them, then these are investing activities. If they are taking loan from the third party, these are known as the financing activities. So operating profit, this occur only when it is from the operating activities. This is the format of profit and loss account. How to prepare profit and loss account? Profit and loss account, the nature of the profit and loss account is nominal in nature, and according to that rule, this nominal account rule, the rule says debit all expenses and losses and credit all income and gains. According to that rule, all the item, all expenses and losses are to be shown on the debit side of this account, and all income and gains are to be shown on the credit side of this account. Because of that rule, the first item which is shown here on the debit side is to gross loss B/T. B/T means brought down. So gross loss is calculated by preparing the trading account, which we have already discussed in our previous lecture, how to prepare the trading account. So by preparing the trading account, either there will be a gross profit or gross loss. So whatever is there, if there is a gross profit, that will be transferred to the profit and loss account on the credit side, since all income and gains are shown on the credit side of this account. If there is a gross loss in the trading account, that has to be shown on the debit side of this account. So on the debit side of this account, the first item is loss, which is brought down from the trading account. The next item is office expenses. The important thing which you need to consider here, this trading account involves only the direct expenses, wherein indirect expenses, all indirect expenses are shown in the profit and loss account. There are two types of expenses, one is direct expense and one is indirect expenses. Direct expenses, which are directly related with the production, are shown in the trading account, wherein the indirect expenses, which are not directly related with the production but necessary, are shown in the profit and loss account. We generally classify this indirect expenses into several heads, like office expenses, selling and distribution expenses, financing expenses and miscellaneous expenses. So all those expenses which are indirectly related with the production are shown in the profit and loss account. The first item of indirect expense is office expenses. So all the expenses which are related with the office will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account, and this involves, office expenses involves rent, rates and taxes, heating and lighting, office salaries, printing and stationery, postage and telegram, telephone expenses, legal charges, insurance, general expenses and audit fees. So all the items which are related with the office will be treated as office expenses, and since it is an office expense, and office expense is an indirect expense and will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The other items which are to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account is selling and distribution expenses. And selling and distribution expenses are those expenses which are related with the sales. So this includes advertisement, traveler salaries, expenses and commission, cash discount allowed to customer, bad debts which became bad. So that is related with the sales only. So this will be included in the selling and distribution expenses. Remember, all those items which are related with the sales, which are necessary for the sales promotion, sales for selling the goods, will be included in selling and distribution expenses. So it includes go down rent of the finished goods. We are not talking about the go down rent, or we are not talking about the rent of the factory. Export expenses, since this export expenses are related with the sales, so this is under the head of selling and distribution expenses. Freight outward, this is the transportation cost which incurred on the sales, so that's why it is included here. There is one more important term, that is freight inward, which we talked in the trading account. So freight inward is the transportation cost which incurred at the time of purchasing of goods. If freight inward is given in the question, that is the item of direct expenses, and that will be shown in the trading account. If freight outward is given, that is related with the sales and it is an indirect expense, and since it is related with the sales, it is an indirect expense, and all indirect expenses are shown in the profit and loss account. Carriage outward, again, if there is a carriage inward, that will be shown in the trading account. If it is carriage outward, since it is related again with the sales, it will be shown in the profit and loss account. Upkeep of motor lorries, packing expenses, all these items are related with the selling and distribution. So selling and distribution is an indirect expense, and all indirect expenses again are shown in the profit and loss account. The next head is depreciation and maintenance. If there is a depreciation on assets, then that has to be shown on the debit side of this profit and loss account. Depreciation, repairs and maintenance of fixed assets. The next item of indirect expense is financial expenses, and these financial expenses related with interest on loans, bank charges, discounted on bills, these includes under the head of financial expenses. This is also shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. There are some more items which are to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account, and these are abnormal losses. I have already explained you all type of expenses and all type of losses are shown on the debit side of profit and loss account, because the nature of the profit and loss account is nominal, and the nominal account rule says debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So according to that rule, if there is any abnormal loss, that has to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. And because of that, loss by fire, if there is a loss by fire or loss by theft or loss by accident, and there is a loss in the value of goods, that has to be shown on the debit side of this profit and loss account. And if again there is a loss on sale of fixed asset, the value of fixed asset is rupees 10,000 and we sold it for rupees 8,000, so we sell it for rupees 8,000, again there is a loss of rupees 2,000, so this loss will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. If there is a loss on sale of investment, so all type of expenses means all indirect expenses and losses will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. And on the credit side, we will be showing all type of incomes and gains. As you can see on the credit side of this account, the first item which is appearing here is gross profit, which is brought down. B/D means brought down. This profit is brought down from the previous account, that is a trading account. If there is a gross profit which is calculated in the trading account, that has to be transferred to the next account, that is profit and loss account. So if there is a gross profit, that has to be shown on the credit side, or if there is a gross loss, that has to be shown on the debit side. So either of these two will be appear, either there will be a gross profit or a gross loss of trading account. The next item which is appearing on the credit side of the profit and loss account is other income. If you have received any discount from your supplier, or if there is any commission which you have received, so this comes under the head other income, and this is shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. There are some more interest, that is non-trading interest, that is bank interest, rent of the property let out, dividend from shares. These are incomes, and since these are incomes, indirect incomes will be shown on the credit side. The next item which is appearing on the credit side of the profit and loss account is abnormal gains. Since we have shown abnormal losses on the debit side, so if there is any abnormal gain, for example, the value of the asset in our books is rupees 10,000 and we sold it for rupees 12,000, more than the value, and then there is a gain on the sale of fixed asset, that is rupees 2,000. so this 2,000 will be shown on the credit side of this account. If there is any profit on sale of investment, that is also a gain, that will be shown on the credit side of this account. If there is a net loss, how net loss will be calculated? If debit side exceed credit side, means if your expenses exceed revenues or it exceed incomes, in that case there will be a loss. For example, your total of the debit side comes to rupees 1 lakh, and the total of the credit side, your income side, comes to rupees this 80,000. So there is a shortfall on the credit side of rupees 20,000. So this 20,000 reveals that there is a net loss, and if there is a net loss, that net loss will be transferred to the capital account. And if there is a profit will incur in the case if your credit side, if your income exceed expenses. If your credit side exceed expenses, in that case there will be a net profit, and this net profit will be transferred to capital account. So either there will be a net profit or net loss, whatever it is there, that has to be transferred to the capital account. Why capital account? This capital account represent the name of owner, it represent owner, and whether there is a profit or loss, that belongs to the owner, so that has to be added or deducted from the capital. If there is a profit, that has to be added to the capital, and this will be shown in the balance sheet. If there is a loss in the business, then that has to be deducted from the capital. Now there are some important points which you need to focus, or which you need to consider while preparing this profit and loss account. The first item is salary. Salary is an indirect expense. What does it include? It includes salary paid to office, godown or warehouse staff, and should be shown in the profit and loss account, being an indirect expenses. I have already told you all indirect expenses and losses, income and gains, only indirect I am focusing here, are shown in the profit and loss account. But if combined salaries and wages is given in the question, if it is given salaries and wages, this combined word is given, then in this case also this is also treated as an indirect expense, and this will be transferred to the profit and loss account. The important point here is the word wages and salary. The first word is given wages and salaries, then you need to focus on the first word which is given here, that is wages. And since wages is a direct expense, and in that case this the wages and salaries will be shown in the trading account. So you need to see if the combined is given, that is if wages and salaries is given, so you need to see the first word, that is wages. Wages is a direct expense, and all direct expenses are shown in the trading account. If word salaries and wages is given, then you need to see the first word, that is salaries. In this case salaries is an indirect expense, and all indirect expenses are shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is rent, rates and taxes. Rent, rate and taxes, it includes office and warehouse rent, municipal rates and taxes. Factory rent, rates and taxes should be debited to the trading account. If it is related with the factory, then it should be shown in the trading account. And if it is other than the factory, if it is not given, only rent and rates and taxes is given in the example it is given, in that case it should be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Interest, next item is interest. If interest is paid on loans, overdraft and bills overdue, it is an indirect expense and it is to be taken on the debit side of the profit and loss account. If interest received on loans, advances by the firm, on deposits and on securities is a gain, and it is to be shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. If nothing is mentioned in the question that whether interest is paid or interest is received, we need to see the balance of this account, that whether the interest is showing the debit balance. If interest is showing the debit balance, obviously then in that case it is an expense and it is to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. And if interest is showing the credit balance, then in that case it is an income and it is to be shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Interest on capital should be shown separately on the debit side, and interest on drawings on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Since interest on capital is again an expense and interest on drawings is an income, and it should be shown on the debit and credit side respectively of the profit and loss account. The next item is commission. Commission on purchases of goods. If commission is paid on the goods purchase, then again it is a direct expense and it should be shown in the trading account. And if commission is paid to the agents for the selling of goods, then it is related with the sales, and I have already told you that all the items which are related with the sales will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. And if commission is received for doing some work, then it is an income and it should be shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Trade expenses. These trade expenses are also known as sundry expenses or general expenses. Trade expenses generally represent office or sundry expenses. So these expenses must be shown in the profit and loss account. But what will happen if both are given? If in the example, in the question, both are given, trade expenses as well as your office expenses, both are given in the question. In that case, the trade expenses should be shown in the trading account, and the office or general expenses should be shown in the profit and loss account. The items which are not to be shown in the profit and loss account, the first item is domestic and household expenses. So all those items which are of personal nature, the items which are personal expenses or personal nature items which belongs to the owner. The first example is domestic and household expenses. The next example is income tax, and the third example is life insurance premium. All these items are not to be shown as an expense, because this is not the expense of the business. These are the personal expenses. Since these are the personal expenses, so this will not be shown in the profit and loss account. This will be treated as a drawings, like a life insurance premium will be treated as drawings. Now, what are the closing entries for profit and loss account? How to close this profit and loss account? So basically, all the nominal accounts, since the trading and profit and loss account is of nominal nature, so all the nominal accounts relating to expenses, losses, income and gains must be closed at the end of the year. In order to close them, they are transferred either to the trading account or to the profit and loss account. General entry which is required for transferring them to the trading or profit and loss account is called closing entry. And how to pass these closing entries? To transfer the expenses. So to transfer the various expenses which are to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. So to transfer all the expenses to the profit and loss account, the entry would be profit and loss account debit to various expenses like selling and distribution expenses, office expenses or any other expenses. For transferring all the incomes, to transfer the incomes to the profit and loss account, the entry will be incomes, various incomes and gains account, debit to profit and loss account. The profit and loss account will show either net profit or net loss. So if credit side exceed debit side, there will be a net profit. The entry would be profit and loss account debit to capital account. So the balancing figure of this account, profit and loss account, will depict either net profit or net loss. So in both the cases, this net profit or net loss will be transferred to the capital account, and this will be shown in the balance sheet. So if there is a net profit, and because of the net profit, the value of this amount of the capital is increasing, and whenever this amount is increasing, this will be credited. And in case of net loss, this will be debited. Entry will be capital account debit to profit and loss account. Thank you so much, everyone. We will be talking about more about the profit and loss account and the balance sheet in our upcoming lecture. Stay tuned. Thank you.